events happen, they don't get the word out because it's easier with less people.
Yeah, that might be it too.
Well, I was hoping that when Mary found out,
Nat, can I get a motion to approve accept the agenda?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Bobby and Sean. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion passes. All right, next up is the approval of minutes from the regular Board of Selectmen meeting on February 16th, 2022. Can I get a motion
I
to
make a
approve?
motion to accept the minutes from the February 16th meeting.
Thank you, Sean. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Bobby. Any errors, changes, omissions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Next up is the approval of the minutes of February 15th, of the special Board of Selectmen. This was the joint meeting of the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Education from February 15th, 2022. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion we approve the minutes from the February 15th meeting.
I'll
Thank you,
second
Sean.
that.
Thank you, Bobby. Any errors, changes, omissions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstention? Motion carries. I do not have any communications or correspondence this evening, so we can move on to public comment. I don't see anyone here. Is there anyone online? Nothing in chat. All right. So the next item on the agenda then is the agreement, the second amendment to Tier 1 Long-Term Municipal Solid Waste Management Services Agreement with Materials Innovation and Recycling Authority, or MIRA. We've discussed this previously, and I do want to say that I did talk with the town attorney on this regarding, well, two things happened. One is we received an actual schedule, a fee schedule, that we didn't have last time. And then this confirms to us that recycling remains free for the town of Portland with this program. So that was one of the concerns that we had. Public Works Director Bob Shea had called and spoken with them at MIRA, and they had confirmed this, but now we have it in writing as well. So the other thing is I did check with our town attorney that should the rates increase, we can withdraw from this agreement. So, that's something that can happen, but for year one, this, I believe, is at least in year one, it's a good deal for Portland. Because of our size, we need to join, I think, with other towns, and if we were try to go out to bid by ourselves, we just don't have the buying power that some of the larger towns do. So I think that it's in our best interest to approve this agreement that's before us. So, anybody have any comments on it?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a wait and see to see how that whole evolves with Hartford shutting down, how things will transpire.
Yeah, agreed. It certainly disturbs a lot of things, because now we'll be trucking this garbage, and I believe we're sending it out of state. So it's not a very good long-term solution, where the state is going to have to figure out what's going to happen to this waste in the long run. But for now, we will move forward with this with the board's approval. Would someone like to move the resolution?
I guess I will. No one's saying anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, John.
Oh, no, I want to make sure you guys know I'm on there. I'm present. The doctor's given me approval starting next Monday. I'm back on the grid, so you'll see me in person again. But I am here.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Okay. Want to move the resolution forward. So the resolution, Board of Selectmen, Town of Portland, Connecticut, March 2nd, 2022. Agreement between the Town of Portland and Materials Innovation and Recycling Authority, MIRA. Resolved that the Town of Portland enter into a 5-year Tier 1 long-term municipal solid waste management agreement for the provision of acceptable solid waste and acceptable recyclables services with the Materials Innovation and Recycling Authority, MIRA. And be it further resolved that the Town of Portland Board of Selectmen does hereby authorize the first selectman to sign all necessary agreements and take all necessary actions to allow the town to enter into such agreement with the MIRA. Okay.
I'll
So what
second that.
happens- You just read that part, right? What do we do with the bottom part? That's different.
Nothing that's for the town clerk.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike.
Is there any additional discussion on this?
You mentioned that we can withdraw from the contract.
Mhm.
Is there a 60-day, 90-day, at the 1-year mark? What's the withdrawal terms?
So this is a 5-year agreement,
Okay.
Mike, and so all we know right now
Mhm.
are the rates for July 1,
Mhm.
2022 through June 30th, 2023.
Right.
So they will be coming out with a new schedule,
Mhm.
and if the rates should increase too high, as spelled out in this agreement,
Right.
then we can withdraw, and we can look for, we could go out to bid, we could try to find a cheaper alternative.
Got it.
But, so that's what, this locks us in for 5 years, but with the condition that we might be able to, or we could withdraw, should the rates go up too high.
And do they change the rates every year or just on a regular basis?
Yes, so the situation is ongoing with the closing of this plant in Hartford.
So it's
And-
evolving, so it could change in a year, it could change 6 months? Got it.
So
Okay.
just to give you an idea, the rates for the MSW, the tipping fee, has gone from 105 to 116 with this agreement.
But what
So-
you're saying, but that price is locked in until June of next year.
Exactly.
It
Right.
just changed.
Just
And then,
for one
so once a year, they say, okay, here's the new year rate. So
Yes.
we really have an opportunity at the beginning of the new year, when they do the rates, to make a decision.
Yes, we
Okay.
can discuss a year from now, especially next budget season, we'll get a new schedule, and if it's too high,
Right.
we can certainly revisit this.
Gotcha, okay, so, one last question, so if we find another source that's much cheaper, or maybe in Connecticut or whatever, before the year is out, we're still locked in for at least a year?
For a year, yes.
Okay, there we go, so year to year, okay, I understand, thank you.
Okay, yeah, no.
Much appreciated.
Any other discussion? You ready for the question? All those in favor of adopting the resolution agreement between the Town of Portland and Materials Innovation and Recycling Authority, or MIRA, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is appointments to boards and commissions. I don't believe there are any appointments. Do you have any appointments, Diane? All right, and we can move on to refunds of excess payment.
Can I make this one?
Sure.
I know these guys. They called me about this like a week or two ago. I'd like to make a motion that we refund to Gregory and Karen Reddick $3,500.83.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ralph. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries.
Also like to refund Gregory Reddick $18.59.
I'll second that.
All those in favor of refunding Gregory Reddick $18.59, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, I guess we can move on to status reports. I'll go first. Briefly, I just want to let everyone know that the 2021 grand list and the revaluation has been completed. And so I do want to thank our town assessor, Rich Lasky. He put a lot of time and effort in. And the good news for the town of Portland is that our grand list grew by 11.3% over the last 5 years, which is very, very healthy. So that is good. So thank you to Rich. And then also, the Board of Selectmen have received the first Selectmen's proposed budget. I know I would like to thank Tom Robinson. He worked, we worked together on this, and I believe that it is a very fair budget, and I'm looking forward to discussing it with not just the Board of Selectmen, but at a public hearing, which will be next Tuesday at Portland, at the middle school library. And it'll be on Zoom as well. So I believe the agenda should be on the website for that. And I think it's 6 p.m., I believe. Is that 7? 7, excuse me, 7 p.m.
That's the high school library.
The high school library?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Dave. All right. And also, today we had a surprise visitor at Town Hall. Governor Lamont surprised us and stopped in this afternoon on his way back from Westbrook. And it was really nice of him to stop in. We had a nice chat. We talked, and he wanted to know all about Portland, and so we discussed Portland and all of the great things that we have going on here. So thank you to Governor Lamont for stopping by today. And that is all I have for status reports.
My list is short today, so only a couple things. One is Long Range Capital did work very hard for the last few weeks and did come up with a list of suggestions or proposals of what the money should go towards long range capital items based on their discussions with the departments, and I know they passed it on to Ryan earlier before he finished his budget. So that was one thing, and the only other thing I'd note is that with regards to the library, it's good. It was good. It was a good meeting because we actually talked about something fun for once, and they were talking about, they put together a committee and they're starting to work on having their celebration, their 125th celebration. It's really 127, but they started to work towards it and planning an event in the month of June. I know I have a date, but I don't know if it's official, so I'll leave it. It's just that they're shooting for a date in June.
Thank you, Ralph. I attended that meeting as well. Looking forward to that.
I have one committee status report. I mean, so the task force, or the solidarity committee that April Graves chairs, is they're trying to come up with a budget number for the Juneteenth celebration this year, and they're working on it and trying to figure that out. And I was hoping that Tom Robinson was going to be on this call today or here in person because I feel this Juneteenth celebration is probably going to be a yearly thing moving forward, such as the parade and the fair and all this stuff, and the fireworks used to be. So, and I can bring this up to Tom at our next meeting with him next month. It's not that urgent, but I would like to propose to make it a line item that every year they get a set number of dollars, so I don't have to keep asking for it out of contingency every year. So, with that being said, that's what the Solidarity Committee is working on now, and I was hoping to ask Tom that today, but I'll bring it up next month when he's here.
Yeah, I think that would be something that's perfect for the budget deliberations. You
Yeah.
know, because that's what it would be for. Of course, that would be for the next fiscal year. We would probably still have to look at contingency for fiscal year 2022. But certainly, I think that's a good idea to visit that for fiscal year 2023. So, yeah, thank you, Mike. Good
Okay.
idea. Any other status or committee reports? All right, seeing none, we will move to public comment. I don't see anyone in the audience at this time. All right, next up is Board of Selectmen General Informal Discussion.
Again, I have something that the public's been bringing up to me, and it's something that we instituted last year with Susan, was extending the dump hours on Tuesday and throttling back on Saturday. And with daylight savings coming up and the dump hours maybe being able to extend again. Last year was a trial period with it. We're learning what we can and cannot do. People were upset that the dump wasn't open till 3:30 on Saturdays, because that's when they can do most of their work. People were also happy that it was open up on Tuesday. So I'd like to talk to Bob Shea at some point and discuss an option to do both. Whether we take a guy from the town crew on a schedule that he works 4 hours on that Tuesday and also the 4 hours on the Saturday, but then he'll be allowed to take like a day off on Monday or Friday. We can work out that schedule, and then the landfill and recycling employees would alternate a schedule where they would stay a 12-hour day on Tuesday and have a half day on Saturday. And then the filler from the town guy would fill. There's a whole schedule. I got it kind of planned out. I'd like to talk to Bob Shea about it.
Okay.
But it's coming up, and I would present a schedule or have Bob Shea present it to us. But we should start looking into that as summer's approaching about the extending the landfill hours. So just something to keep on your plate. If you guys got thoughts about it, we can bring it up at next month's meeting. But just so you guys are aware that I think we're going to work on that with Bob.
Yeah,
Okay?
okay. All right, John, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, Ryan, to you and the board, I've struggled with this for a while. I want to put a statement on the record, and just bear with me. I want to make this statement. My first involvement in the town in public-facing capacity was years ago when I was the foreman of the park and rec crew that maintained athletic fields during summer programs. We were a group of college kids, and Bill Nolan was our boss. I'm sure many of you people that lived in town know Bill Nolan or remember Bill Nolan. Mr. Nolan, the park and rec director at the time, told me as an employee of the town, as a bunch of college kids were driving through the town in an old red truck with a town seal on the door, that we are to be respectful of our position and of others, both town residents and other town employees, because in our capacity, we represented Portland. I'll never forget Bill's words, and in fact, it's brought me guidance many times over the years as I've been on town boards and commissions, and most recently with you guys on the Board of Selectmen. I treat everyone, no matter my personal feelings, with courtesy and respect. As a member of this board, I will say that I personally am frustrated and frankly embarrassed by occurrences at the February 8th EDC meeting that resulted in the resignation of town planner Mary Dickerson and the recent front page article in the River East News Bulletin. The article clearly described the inappropriate tone and tenor of the EDC meeting as explained by those who attended that meeting, We made clear that statements from the meeting were not adequately represented in the official minutes that we present on the town website. The article also presented some statements that could be interpreted as political in nature. This issue is a black eye for Portland, I feel. It's unacceptable and should never happen again to any Portland resident or Portland town employee. As COVID wanes, we have 4 significant projects moving forward. We have Brainerd Place. We have the 248 Brownstone Avenue RFP. We have the Absolute Air Project and the Central Connecticut Arms Facility. And with each, the town's primary source of information now is gone. The departure of Mary Dickerson is a tremendous loss. She was the economic development planner for the town. She was the town's economic development consultant from 2007 to 16. She was a part-time assistant town clerk. And most recently, she took on the role of land use administrator following the departure of Ashley Majorowski. And she provided technology support for land use boards and commission meetings. She holds a number of affiliations, including one with the American Planning Association and the Connecticut Economic Developers Association. During her tenure, we received the 2021 Highway Safety Award Honorable Mention, the 2019 Bronze Certified Sustainability Community Award, the 2019 Connecticut Economic Development Association Best Practice in Economic Development and Land Use Certification, and we were awarded Community Connectivity and Transportation Equity Grants totaling more than $700,000. Further, it's my understanding that today the town posted the town planner position to refill her vacancy with a pay range of $75,000 to $99,000. I checked with her today. The salary she was paid last year for the planner position and all the other ancillary positions I mentioned was $56,000 last year. Not only have we lost an invaluable town employee, but we now have to budget for position funds that we cannot afford. Now, I know you all understand on the board, you know the connection, but for the purpose of transparency, I just want to use this opportunity tonight to note that former town planner Mary Dickerson is my sister. Not that she's my sister, but just the knowledge that she has. She far outweighs me when it comes to knowledge and capability. And it's a huge loss that she's no longer with the town. But as such, I want to make sure that should this board at any future time discuss this issue involving my sister, I plan to recuse myself from all such discussions. I just want to make sure that I made that clear this evening, and I had to put it on the record. I just felt it was necessary to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And as I did say before, I take this very seriously. This is not something that we wanted to happen in Portland, and I promise that I will do everything in my power to make sure that it does not happen again.
Thank you, guys.
Any other discussion? With that, I don't have any follow-up items tonight, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Thank you, Sean.
I'll second that.
Bobby seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion adjourned.
You guys are a good
Meeting
team
adjourns
with
at
this whole
7:53.
motions and second. Great, like you guys
Thank you all.
finish each other as.
Recording stopped.
You should see me and Brian Leary at the firehouse.
Oh, seriously.
We're just like a machine.